Prepositions, Chapter 2. What are prepositions? Prepositions are words that show relationships. No, not those kind of relationships. Many prepositions show location, where something's located in reference to something else. These are words like above, below, between, within, beside, around, in, over, and down. For example, the flag is above the doorway. The dog is on the couch. The kids ran around the playground. Other prepositions show time, when something happened in reference to something else. These are words like before, after, during, since, until, as. For example, we ate dinner before the movie. The students were attentive during class. I haven't seen Janet since the holidays. Some other prepositions don't fit any category. They're just miscellaneous prepositions that indicate different types of relationships. These are words like despite, regarding, concerning, including, like when it means similar to, and except. For example, despite the humidity, the picnic was fun. I'm calling regarding your application. Georgia has a coat like mine. In this unit, we're going to look for more than just prepositions, though. We're looking for prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and it ends with the object of that preposition. Let's make it easy. Find a preposition and then ask what. In what, on what, over what, through what. Whatever answers the question what is where the prepositional phrase ends. For example, the flag is above the doorway. Above what? The doorway. So above the doorway is the prepositional phrase. The dog is on the couch. On what? On the couch. So on the couch is the prepositional phrase. The kids ran around the playground. Around what? The playground. So around the playground is the prepositional phrase. A few more. We ate dinner before the movie. Before what? The movie. So before the movie is a prepositional phrase. The students were attentive during class. During what? Class. So during class is a prepositional phrase. I haven't seen Janet since the holidays. Since what? Since the holidays. So that's a prepositional phrase. Let's try some more. Despite the humidity, the picnic was fun. Despite what? The humidity. So despite the humidity is the prepositional phrase. I'm calling regarding your application. Regarding what? Your application. So regarding your application is a prepositional phrase. Georgia has a coat like mine. Like what? Mine. So like mine is the prepositional phrase. Occasionally, whom would be a better question than what? I received a card from my cousin. From whom? My cousin. So from my cousin is the prepositional phrase. But what's close enough, right? You get the picture. Here's a list of the most common single word prepositions. About, above, across, after, against, along, amid, amidst, among, around, as, aside, at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but when it means except, by, concerning, considering, despite, down, during, except, for, from, in, including, inside, into, like when it means similar to, near, of, off, on, onto, out, outside, over, past, regarding, since, through, throughout, till, to, toward, under, underneath, unlike, until, unto, up, upon, with, within, and without. A good way to familiarize yourself with them is to fill in a chart like this, sorting them into the categories of time, location, and other. There are also phrasal prepositions, where two words act as one preposition. According to, ahead of, along with, as of, as to, aside from, away from, because of, close to, contrary to, due to, except for, far from, in between, inside of, instead of, near to, next to, off of, out of, prior to, similar to, together with, and up to. Be sure to pay special attention to these, they can be tricky. And a few other items of note. The word to is a preposition when it's followed by a noun or a pronoun. For example, I drove to New York. New York is a place, so it's a noun. So to New York is a prepositional phrase. However, if the word to is followed by a verb, an action, it's something called an infinitive. For example, I asked my friend to drive. Drive is an action, a verb. So to drive is an infinitive, not a prepositional phrase. Put square brackets around an infinitive just to note that you've looked at it and you know it's not prepositional. Occasionally, prepositional phrases have more than one object. In other words, more than one thing or person answers the question what or whom. For example, I stopped at the store and the post office. At is the preposition. When you ask at what, two places answer the questions, both the store and the post office. Therefore, the complete prepositional phrase is at the store and the post office. If you aren't sure if the words after the conjunction, and, but, or, should be included, try this test. Read the preposition with each object separately. Both should sound correct. For instance, I stopped at the store, and I stopped at the post office. And about the length of a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase can be any length from 2 words on up. For example, in minutes we ran the length of the sprawling, massive, congested O'Hare International Airport. In is a preposition. In what? Minutes. So in minutes is a 2-word prepositional phrase. Of is another preposition. Of what? Of the airport. So the complete prepositional phrase is of the sprawling, massive, congested O'Hare International Airport. The phrase starts with a preposition and it ends with the object of that preposition, no matter how many descriptive words fall in between. Don't get caught thinking that the prepositional phrases are all 3 words long. And sometimes prepositions are used in special ways. A preposition may be placed at the end of a verb to change the verb's meaning. These are called phrasal verbs. For example, he will get over the bad relationship. They couldn't get along together. He should get on with his life. Get over, get along, and get on are phrasal verbs. The words over, along, and on change the meaning of the verb get. These words don't start prepositional phrases, so they shouldn't be circled. Now for the big question. Why in the world are we studying prepositional phrases? The answer? We study prepositions and prepositional phrases not because they're difficult to identify or to use correctly, but because identifying them can make it easier to find the subject and the verb, the most important parts of a sentence. Once we've found the prepositional phrases, we can ignore them because subjects and verbs are never found in prepositional phrases. In the next 2 chapters, you're going to see how helpful this is.